Hi race fans, I'm Elliot Camies and this is your NASCAR Cup Dates Friday preview, a show where myself and Dan will take you through the stories that came out of Indianapolis and we'll make our picks for the upcoming weekend at Michigan. But first, I do need to get Dan in here, so Dan, welcome, how have you been? How was your week and what do you really think of that race?
Elliot, man, thank you again for having me. Always a pleasure to be here with you, buddy. Yeah, this weekend was the Indy Road Course, and I don't want to jump the gun here, but I think NASCAR's finally fixing Indy. Do you know how hard it is to watch Indianapolis on NASCAR? This has been a trial, man. Every time that I'm tuning in to watch like an actual NASCAR race at one of the greatest speedways in the United States of America, it is always a trial, man, and it's not in a good way. But the last few years, changing to the road course dynamic has been stellar. And yeah, this weekend did not disappoint me one bit. Really happy with the on-track performance I saw over here.
Okay, and we should come out with the big story that comes out of the weekend, and that is that Tyler Reddick is a two-time NASCAR Cup Series winner. The newest winner in the Brickyard, who had to battle two absolute road course ringers with Chase Elliott and AJ Allmendinger. So what did you think of that absolute masterclass that Reddick had to put in on Sunday?
Yeah, excellent win by Tyler Reddick this weekend. That kid has definitely changed up a lot from what we've seen from the last several seasons. I'd even go as far as to say as we saw the beginning of this season, where he pretty much got the sauce from Chase Briscoe and got sent way out of left field to have Kyle Busch back into a win. But yeah, he pretty much just dominated this most of the race from what I saw. He was up front that whole time and looked like a serious contender to win. And yeah, he got the W. Yeah, he went from pretty much being just the one guy you just, he's going to be close for a long time, but when's he going to get it? Now he's gotten two really quick. And now he's picking the momentum at the right time. The playoffs are right around the corner. Looking forward to seeing what he can do now. So what did you think of Tyler Reddick and his masterclass performance over here at Indy?
I mean, that was a fantastic drive by Tyler Reddick to see him just take that green flag. I'd like to go all the way back to qualifying. He took pole by 2/10, and in a single lap, you multiply that by 50, you get 2/10. That's a lot. It's a lot of time. I think 5 seconds. So, I mean, adding that into a 50-lap stint, obviously, with stages, that's not going to happen. But it's still a lot of time to be making up, It was seeing how well he performed, how quickly he managed to get back to the front, even with new tyres, old tyres. We didn't see much of a difference. He was just clearly the fastest man for the day, and he's proving the point that 2311 was trying to make. He is one of the most talented drivers out there, and that's why they signed him. But he did have to survive his fair share of restarts. A lot of cars managed to solo spin. Two cars spinning at once in separate parts of the track. And then obviously we had the big wrecks. Indianapolis seems to be a very hectic place. Does it really have much of a place on the schedule in 2023? We want to make this sport as professional as we want, but it looks like child's play out there.
Now, for everyone at home, I love IndyCar. I adore open wheel racing. I love the sheer thrill of it, the speed, the spectacle. Love going to the races. It is a absolute show to go to. If you haven't been, I highly suggest it if it's coming around your area. And having NASCAR racing at one of my favorite tracks of all time, what's not to like? Except the on-track performance we've seen. Every time we've been seeing this track in the past, it's been a nightmare and a half. But now they changed to the road course dynamic. And yeah, this is great. This is fantastic. They've been just tweaking it here and there, and they've been learning a lot how to do road course racing properly. They may have bitten off more than they can chew in some regards, but they're getting it. They're learning it. And the on-track racing, this is great. I cannot stress how much I adore this track with this format and this style of car. I want more of it. And big shout out to NASCAR for just letting a lot of these spins just go unnoticed. Beautiful. I want more racing. This is fantastic. I love this track. I want more of it. Do not take it away. Do not change back to the old Indy dynamic. It does not work with a NASCAR. This is what we need. This is working. Give me more. But back on you, Elliot. How do you feel about the road course dynamic here? Do you think it's going to stick around, or do you think we should flip back to the actual rectangle format?
We need to go back. We saw Pocono become this fantastic race. I'm sure we'll see Michigan be this fantastic race this weekend. Indianapolis could be the same. It's either that, or I heard somewhere that said we should give the cars less horsepower so we can utilise those long straights. Those old cars with the mechanical grips were too fast out of the turns to do anything with. You know, I really think that the road course has tried it. In both years, it's been a bit of a disaster. Looked like I said, it looked like child's play every single time. And when we're trying to make a sport look so professional, that's just not the way to do it. Yeah, we're gonna have to go back to the oval just to see how it works. If it works well, keep him there. The problem is, if that doesn't work, I think Indianapolis has had it. Indianapolis has completely had it. And I won't be sad to see it go. It's just not been our kind of racetrack, you know? It's made for Indy cars. It's not a stock car racetrack. But someone that did have to take the access road, Ross Chastain, ended up battling for second after having to take the access for avoiding a wreck on the restarts. NASCAR did penalise him at the end by 30 seconds, adding that to his total race time. Now, Ross was taking evasive action, so do you think that move was fair by NASCAR, or do you think there's situations to this? But the access roads seem to make you gain a lot of places.
Man, Elliot, this hurts talking about Ross Chastain like this so much. It's always in a bad light, and I'm feeling pretty bad for the guy. Like, every one of his interviews, you can almost just see the pain in his eyes, and I like the guy. I really like the guy. Do I think he was trying to gain an edge? No, I don't think he was. When he's talking during that interview, go back and watch it. I implore you, I believe him. The way he speaks, I think it's genuine. I honestly believe that he's being honest with what he's saying. But on to NASCAR's point of it now. NASCAR needs to tighten this up now. This is inexcusable. They need a clear-cut rule book. Denny Hamlin was hammering them earlier in this season. I'm all on board with what he was saying before about how NASCAR needs just to solidify their rules. It needs to be as black and white as possible. There is a gray area. There always will be a gray area. This is sport. This is real life. This isn't fiction. There's always going to be some little things, but an access road, a runoff road, they need to make a clear, concise rule and stick with it from start to finish. Even if Ross did say, okay, let's try to avoid the carnage and take the access road, I don't blame him. If that's the case, he took a shot and it didn't work. I think he was just overshot the corner and just made the turn and just ran it as hard as he could. But yeah, I'm all for just NASCAR tightening this up, man. That's what I want them to do as hard as possible. Back on to you. How do you feel about this? Do you think NASCAR overreacted? Do you think they made the right call on this? Or do you think just going forward, they just need to say, okay, let's just lock this in. This is the rule, hell or high water.
He made up a lot of positions, and he did end up interfering for the battle for the win. So, I still think in that 2 laps, there was time to radio a message and tell Ross, give your spots back or we penalise you. And I think he could have made them back. 100% I think he could have made them back. But it's a difficult... Rules are rules. Fair enough. NASCAR enforce their rules. And we've seen that the last couple of weeks with the DQ in Pocono, with the penalty added on this week. You know, It's nice to see that NASCAR are enforcing rules instead of just giving a slap in the wrist. I do think it was a bit like the circumstances. He was avoiding a wreck. He was avoiding getting taken out of the race. In which case, yeah, that's fine. But it's like NASCAR said, rules are rules. Well, not NASCAR said, like I said, rules are rules. It's just going to be one of those unfortunate things that he has to follow. And that is just the hard honest truth with it. Okay, well, it is that time where me and Dan make our picks for the upcoming race weekend. This week we're picking for Michigan, and I won in the Indianapolis Road Course with AJ Allmendinger finishing ahead of Daniel Suarez. So I'm going to go first, and I'm going to go for none other than Slick Willie B. I've gone for William Byron. Hendrick Motorsports has been very strong at Michigan. The drivers have been very strong at Michigan. Chase Elliott, second so many times. William Byron, very strong last year. Kyle Larson, won 3 in a row. I think it's William Byron's turn. Alex Bowman, I'm sure he'll make his way to the front. He's a talented driver and he's racing for Hendrick Motorsports. Of course he's going to make it to the front. So, with that said, William Byron, Rudy Fugle will make me proud this week and get the better finish. I really do hope he'll get the win as well. So Dan, over to you. Who do you have? Who do you want for Michigan?
I'm honestly just... Michigan's the track I go to the most. I've been here more times than I can count, starting all the way back in 2001, my first time out there. And over the years, the one driver I've seen that looks like the most dominating force, Joey Logano. This kid has been decent all year. I like what I see from him on track. I don't like his ruthless aggression approach. I don't like what I saw from him over at the Indy Road Course, pushing it 5 aside. That aside, he's a 3-time winner here. This guy knows how to get it done. He knows how to find that victory circle like nobody else I've seen here. Every time I've been to Michigan and watching him, he knows the track. He knows the apexes. He can get it done. Joey Logano is going to be my pick going into Michigan this weekend.
Well, it is that time to end. Dan, thank you so much for joining me.
Hey, Elliot, as always, thank you a ton for having me, man. Absolute pleasure, as always, to be here on the show with you. Thank you all for watching at home. It means the world to me. I love making these videos. They are an absolute amount of fun just to be able to do, sit back and just talk NASCAR with you guys at home, with Elliot here. But, yeah, if you get the chance, follow me at CupDatesDan on Twitter. Trying to be more active on weekends as much as I can. Leave us some comments down below. I always love hearing what everybody has to say. You know what I always say, man? Tell me how wrong I am, how right he is. Leave your comments, leave your opinions. Always love to see it. But, Elliot, thank you so much for having me. Everyone at home, y'all have a good one and enjoy your evening.
Make sure you check in to the YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok channels. I post on all 3. The video will be going out on Friday. But make sure you tune every Friday night to the Outcast Racing League as the playoffs begin here. And Nitro begins his farewell tour from the series. As for now, I've been Elliot Camis. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye. Last Friday, the lights closed on the regular season, the engines switched off, but you could still hear the hunger.
You gotta be willing to go the extra mile. Take risks. Gamble. And sometimes, you just gotta be willing to rattle some cages to get it done.
We just need a clean race, and to throw the right moves at the right times.
Rivalries that began in the beginning, still burning as bright as ever.
I would definitely throw a bumper at somebody.
This week, the playoffs begin. Everything you thought you knew about the word intensity, pressure, forget it.
I'm here to race. I'm here to race as hard as I can. I want to do it the Mark Martin style.
Would definitely move someone out of the way.
I've found 3 different ways to lose it.
So I'm willing to do just about anything.
The playoffs begin now. It's all begins here. Hey, what's up? This is Kyle Larson, and this is the Outcast Racing League.